Hi, we are out here at Scogin Hill Cemetery on the south side of Bloomington, Illinois. It was established in 1828, and we are going to be visiting the grave sites of several veterans. We will be remembering their service and paying our respects. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. And with that, let's begin. First, we are here at the gravesite of Mr. Fletcher Brigham, who served with the 33rd Illinois Infantry in the Civil War. He was born in 1845, lived to 1923, which made him about 78 years old when he passed. Being a member of the 33rd Illinois Infantry, they had a regimental nickname of the Teachers Regiment because so many of them were recruited from what was then called Illinois State Normal College. Back in those days, a teacher's college was referred to as a normal college. Mr. Brigham served in Company C. He was a private. His term expired September 26 of 1865. Of course, the war ended in April of 1865. And he was allowed to leave camp and start returning from home as of August 8th of 1865. And to Mr. Fletcher Brigham, we honor your service and thank you so much for your service to this country. May you rest in peace. Next, we are at the gravesite of a Revolutionary War veteran, Mr. Moses Hogum. He was born in 1744, lived to 1845, and reached the age of 101 when he passed away. Mr. Hogum served as a private in Captain Michael Cresap's company of the Virginia Militia for 114 days around 1775, which would have equated to about 4 months of service. Then later in life, around 1830, Mr. Hogum relocated to McLean County here in the middle of Illinois and lived on a farm that was located east of this graveyard and passed away in 1845. To Mr. Moses Hogum, we thank you, sir, for your service to this country, and may you rest in peace. Next, we have the family stone of the Harvey family, and this stone is very hard to read due to the growth of moss, weathering, and the light conditions that we have at the moment. I've traced out the inscription with my fingers and can go through the details. There are 3 people depicted on this stone. The top third is for an N.K. Harvey, who was born in 1789. He lived to 1863, which would have made him about 74 years of age when he passed. And the stone says that he was a veteran of the War of 1812. He was a member of the 6th Regiment of the Pennsylvania Militia, and he was part of Captain Dunn's company. The middle portion of the stone describes a William T. Harvey, who was born in 1832, and it says that he was killed in action at the Battle of Champions Hill on May 16th of 1863, and he was a member of the 26th Illinois Volunteers. Now, the Battle of Champions Hill was part of the Vicksburg campaign. General Grant was working his way south, and later General Sherman completed that to Atlanta, and he surrounded Vicksburg to cut that town off as being a source of production for the Confederacy. So Champions Hill took place a little bit east of town, and it took out some roadways and a railroad as a means of transportation for the Confederacy, and then the siege was completed of Vicksburg. That battle and siege also eliminated the Mississippi as a source of transport for the Confederacy. The bottom third of the stone describes an Edward M. Harvey, who was born in 1835, lived to 1863, and was 28 years old when he passed away. And the stone says that he died in hospital at New Orleans from a wound received at the Battle of Prairie Grove, and he was a member of the 94th Illinois Infantry. Now, the Battle of Prairie Grove took place in Arkansas on December 7th of 1862. So since Edward passed away sometime later in 1863 in a New Orleans hospital, I can readily imagine that he was transported there for care. His health deteriorated, maybe contracted an infection, don't know, but he passed away in 1863. I would point out that all three of these gentlemen passed away in 1863, so that was a very sad and tragic year for the Harvey family. To all three, we thank you for your service, your sacrifice to this country, and may you rest in peace. Next, we have another family stone, a little bit easier to read, and it is for the Withrow family. There are three people described on this stone. On the top is a David Withrow, the middle a Joseph Withrow, and the bottom Gaston Withrow. The top reference is to David Withrow, who was born in 1796, died in 1868, and was about 72 years old when he passed. And the stone says that he was a veteran of the War of 1812, and he served in Captain William Alexander's company of the Pennsylvania Volunteers, and he was a member of the 5th detachment of that unit. The middle of the stone describes Joseph Withrow, and he was born in 1837, died in 1885, and he was 48 years old when he passed away, and he was a member of the 5th Illinois Cavalry. Now, the 5th Illinois Cavalry did a lot of escorting of supply trains and soldiers, and a lot of skirmishing, primarily on the western part of the Civil War activities. Again, as General Grant was working his way south towards Atlanta, and Sherman completed that after Grant went to the east to take over command of the entire Union Army. I can find no reference of service to Mr. Gaston Withrow referenced on the bottom of the stone. To Mr. David Withrow and Joseph Withrow, we thank you for your service to this country, and may you rest in peace. Next, we have Mr. John O. Nelson, and as the stone says, he was a member of the 16th Kentucky Militia, and he served in the War of 1812. Per my research, the only reference I could find on him said that he was a member of Porter's Regiment of that unit. To Mr. John O. Nelson, we thank you so much, sir, for your service to this country, and may you rest in peace. We thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and we look forward to bringing you many more stories of our veterans in future videos. Thank you very much, and take care.